Alright, I'm sitting in the MedX selectorized shoulder press. A very sweet machine, one of my favorites. Whenever I'm up in North Dakota, this is the primary shoulder piece I will use. It's actually the best shoulder piece they have up there because I donated one of these machines to the YMCA. I can exclusively use this for shoulders and be completely satisfied. That's how good of a machine it is. Now, if you see the blue shields, these are magnetic blue shields on each and every one of these machines. And these magnetic blue shields, they just come right off. They pop right off, very, very easy. And allows you to get inside to clean, or if there's any repairs that are needed. I've never had to repair any one of these machines. They're so well constructed. You just pop the shields off, clean or repair. They're very, very nice. Now, what you see on here, I'm using the full stack, and I have auxiliary plate holders. I bought these plate holders, especially plate holders. And I have one on the front and I have one on the back. And the reason being is, as I add weight, I like to distribute the weight evenly to the stack. If you just add all the weight on a specialty plate holder on the front, it's going to pull down on the front of the stack and cause undue, unnecessary friction on the guide rods. And you're not going to get the true resistance that you need, or how much resistance you can add to fall into your rep range. So you can see, if you look over here, that I have the magnetic shield popped off the back. There's a solid magnetic shield that covers the stack on the back, so I just popped that off, no problem. And I just got it leaning there, and I got another specialty plate holder on the back. So what I've done, I've worked my way up to 245s on each specialty plate holder, so that's an extra 180 pounds on top of the stack. And what I want to do, I'm going to fall into the 4 rep range. 4 rep range for me is max resistance, following the first law of hypertrophy, as far as how many reps I want to complete for development of shoulders. And again, shoulders 4, chest 4. So I worked my way up, and I'm hoping I can get 4 of this. I did pretty well in my last set, and it was about 45 pounds lighter. So we're going to see. This has 3 position handles. Of course, the closer handle is going to emphasize or work the triceps a little more, but it's still going to primarily hit the deltoid. And then it's got a front handle if you're thicker, and I'm thicker, so I like to use the front, plus it gives me better leverage getting up under it. And then it's got a rear handle. The rear handle is right over the medial, and it's actually going to limit the amount of resistance you can press. And I'm a big believer in positioning yourself on all shoulder machines in a way in which you can move the most resistance possible. That's the key for shoulders. That's the key basically for anything. To get into the position and move the most resistance possible. Now, it's a fully adjustable seat. This back pad actually pops out a click or pops in. I prefer it in. It has a seat belt, and I'll put the seat belt on and I'll lock it down nice and tight. It's going to keep my hips in place. Again, one of the best shoulder presses I've ever used. Now, some people will talk about the MedX machines and say, oh, I don't like them, or we had them in our gym and we took them out, but yet they won't explain to you why they don't like them. Well, you don't like how they look, people just weren't using them, because if they understood at all about constant continuous tension, or capturing the largest percentage of the rep or repetition unit at a time, during this repetition, you would not take these machines out. There's a larger percentage of time under tension captured per rep due to the design of these machines. These machines do not have a pulley or cable located on top. They have a lever under the bottom. And as I push, my stroke pushing may be 26, 28 inches. That's the length of my arm. But because the lever is under the bottom, the stack is only going to rise 12 inches. Now, when the stack only rises 12 inches, it's condensing the time under tension. That time under tension of my stroke of 28 inches is being forced into the 12-inch movement of the stack. And this is more of a continuous tension throughout the movement. It's incremental, and you have to understand what I'm saying. So when there's more continuous tension during the 3 phases of the repetition, the unit of time, the positive, static, and the negative, you're going to grow more. That's just the way hypertrophy works. You want the most time under tension. And that's one of the reasons these machines are just incredible. They feel almost like you're pushing on springs when you're using these machines. I love all these MedX machines. And again, I can't wrap my mind around people say, well, I don't like them, I don't like to use them. You know, the MedX machine, they're the brothers and the sisters of the MedX Avenger plate loaded line. And I prefer to use the selectorized line because it creates more time under tension. I will shoot videos on the leverage plate loaded line just to give you an example of just how those lines look and how they work. But the selectorized versions create a much more time under tension, and that's all that really matters. Your body doesn't know you're plate loaded, or if you're in machines such as I have. So I'm using the full stack, and I got 180 pounds extra on the stack, and we're going to see how that goes for you. Again, you know me, you know my philosophy. You know, I like to get up under the handles whenever I'm doing shoulders. I want the best leverage possible to move the maximum resistance. That's what's key. Why set myself completely erect and use the back handles when it's going to limit how much I can push? It just doesn't make any sense to me. It shouldn't make any sense to you either. You should understand you want the most leverage possible to move as much resistance as possible, whatever movement you're doing. That's key. That's key. Awesome set, great set for me. I was actually able to get 5. I'm not going any higher than this. The 5th rep almost killed me, man. But it was definitely an awesome set. I wouldn't have made it if I didn't get up under it and then have my butt out on the seat more. I was using the middle handles and I was able to get up under it. But it was very hard, very satisfying set as far as what I feel would develop hypertrophy into the shoulder region.